After the permanent twin flame reunion, shift number 1. The energetic self feels complete, fulfilled, and matched. It no longer feels like a piece of the soul is missing, elusive, or adrift. Challenge. Your sense of belonging and connection to the twin make the rest of the world and other relationships, interactions, and connections feel strained, flawed, and even unwanted. The perfect fit with the twin is contrasted by your feeling even more out of place, foreign, or ostracized in the world around you and the world at large. You have filled the inner void, but now sense the human dynamics around you are irreparably empty, hollow, misguided, and/or uncomfortable. Despite the twin relationship in your life, you may feel extremely depressed or discouraged because the rest of the world really does not understand you now or share your perspectives. Tip: keep in mind that a twin flame experience of any sort is meant to awaken your senses, talents, and levels of consciousness. If encountering a twin feels like a deep and pivotal awakening of the soul, the permanent reunion can trigger or feel like the soul's quick midlife crisis. The great news is that all types of awakening afford you a variety of incredible opportunities to share your new understanding and light, as well as make large or small but profound ripples of change in this imperfect human world. The secret to emerging from any twin flame or awakening gloom: don't hesitate to plant your seeds of possibility, change, hope, and joy in the world around you. Just temper your expectations of when and how they bloom. Enough of them will, and it will be beautiful. Shift 2. The twin and the twin relationship are the priority at all costs. Like it or not, the twin becomes your life purpose. Challenge. The time, energy, and attention necessary to maintain, nurture, and grow a twin flame partnership typically come at the expense of other previously important priorities, relationships, roles, or endeavors. As a result, when the twin relationship thrives, your family ties, finances, career, aesthetics, health, or a previously cherished sense of autonomy or control may weaken, suffer, and/or take a downturn. In other words, you and others may wonder if the trade-offs and tremendous sacrifices for the twin flame relationship were or are worth it, since you are both still living in the real 3D world. Tip: it's helpful to remember that many twin flame relationships don't reunite permanently on this plane because the energies, time, and efforts of one or both partners are needed elsewhere for the bigger picture. There are numerous instances when the world around a twin partner requires the focus more than his or her twin does, or a twin needs personal health, finances, or family relationships to move forward more than he or she needs the twin relationship to be active at that moment in time. Trust that you are being guided for your highest good and the highest good. If your permanent twin reunion constitutes your life purpose, it may feel unusual, unconventional, or even frowned upon in certain contexts, but there is reason and there is value in that life purpose. On the flip side, if your gifts are meant to be directed elsewhere, your twin relationship may be put on the back burner a while, but the timelines are truly meant to serve you both and those in your circle. So, embrace the direction or purpose you are being shown, even if it's different than what you had imagined, dreamed, or coveted before that time. Shift number 3. As the energies of both partners merge, sex, health, intimacy, and emotions feel different. They are expressed differently than before, are co-created, and are experienced jointly. Challenge. When what you feel, what you sense, and what you experience are shared, mirrored, completed, and co-created, it's difficult to know what's yours, what's your partner's, or what are you both picking up from the world around you. That uncertainty makes it even harder to know whether to act on something, express it, or change it. And if so, how? Sometimes it feels like you are carrying all of your partner's emotional and physical baggage on top of your own, and yours was heavy enough. Tip: one of the best ways to view the convergence of frequencies is to think of both partners as two sides of one body. One is the right side and one is the left. The right side may have a few of its own unique ailments, weaknesses, and strengths. The cells on the left side may not always be directly impacted by them, but both sides do share information, vitals, and structure. Both sides need to function well independently, but are still connected to and part of a greater whole. Like the two sides and countless cells in the body, Twin partners eventually learn the nature and severity of each other's signals and warning signs, including emotions, physical maladies, urges, cravings, etc. Also, like both sides of the body, the twins can learn to tap into one another as a resource in order to heal, balance, or propel each other. Learning this empathic or intuitive give-and-take dynamic is not an easy or comfortable process, but if practiced, it can become quite useful and effective with a twin, with other soul connections, or even with others in your circle. In a sense, mastering this confusing dynamic is quite the catalyst for you to emerge as an effective energy healer for those you care about most, not just a twin. Shift to Type 4. You cultivate patience, understanding, and love for what is opposite of you and your individual qualities, quirks, goals, and desires. Challenge. Since twin partners complement each other to make a whole, they often have very different talents, interests, preferences, and attributes. It can be tricky to navigate as a couple when, for example, one thrives in chaos and the other calm. One prefers to plan and the other to procrastinate or be spontaneous. One craves bland and the other spicy. One loves adventure and the other the comfort of familiarity. One responds to rough and tough and the other to gentle and soothing. One is very spiritual and the other more grounded and analytical. Clearly, finding common ground can feel like a constant and winless battle. When both partners attempt to manifest life events according to their individual proclivities, they end up co-creating a stalemate and getting stuck in a perpetual, brutal, and exhausting tug-of-war with each other's energies. Tip: embrace and cherish the yin-yang duality that both parties contribute. Such opposite elements or contributions help provide contrast, resilience, longevity, and fuel for you both to be the highest expression of yourselves as individuals and as one. How do you make the most of these seemingly opposing forces? The more you can divide responsibilities or allocate areas according to each person's strengths, the more both partners will feel honored, supported, appreciated, and understood. And the more you will avoid the stalemates involved when the two co-create in opposite directions. After all, every storm has both the calmness of its eye and the chaos of its outer bands. As a couple, you are equipped to handle both environments perfectly, differently but perfectly. On the occasions that your partner does step out of the typical comfort zone as a show of love, compromise, and respect for the whole, you will appreciate his or her efforts even more. Interestingly enough, in this process, you and your partner may also end up cultivating or energizing opposite aspects of your individual selves that had been latent, muted, or covered before you began making room for and honoring these opposites more fully. As a final benefit, these tactics not only make it easier to function with a twin energetically, logistically, and emotionally, but they can work wonders if you apply them to other areas and interactions in your life as well. Regardless of whether a twin flame couple reunites on this plane or waits until beyond it, the twin flame experience is like no other for strengthening, guiding, inspiring, and awakening both parties. You learn the meaning, value, and challenges of oneness, and you develop a deeper, unconditional, and more compassionate love for each other and for yourself. How you choose to apply, act upon, or navigate the lessons you learn, messages you receive, or glimpses you are given of the twin flame connection, that is entirely up to you. However, one thing is certain: once you are awakened by such a connection, you and your journey will never be the same, and that can be an exciting and amazing thing.